Broke black businessman gives a ride to a hitchhiker and discovers she's richer than he ever dreamed. Jamal Carter was at the end of his rope. Once a rising entrepreneur with a sleek co-working space downtown, he now drove his beat-up Honda Civic for Uber part-time, hoping to pay off the last of his mounting debts. The pandemic had crushed his business. Investors vanished. Clients dried up. His dream had drowned in overdue bills and eviction notices. He was driving through rural Georgia on his way back from a failed pitch meeting when he spotted her, thumb out, a duffel bag slung over her shoulder, standing at the edge of a dusty road under the scorching sun. She couldn't have been older than 25, with tangled blonde hair, scuffed sneakers, and an oversized hoodie that looked like it had seen better days. Against every logical instinct, and the voice of his mother in his head screaming, "Boy, don't you be picking up strangers," he pulled over. "You need a ride?" he asked through the window. The girl hesitated, then nodded. "Just headed west. Anywhere but here." She introduced herself as Ray. No last name, no small talk. She was quiet but observant, asking pointed questions about Jamal's life, his ambitions, what kind of business he once had, why he gave it up. Jamal, to his own surprise, opened up. Maybe it was the road. Maybe it was the kind way she listened without judgment. They drove for hours, stopped at a gas station for cheap burgers, laughed. She told him she left home because she was tired of people telling her who she was supposed to be. He thought she meant strict parents, controlling boyfriend. He didn't pry. It wasn't until they reached a small motel outside Nashville that everything changed. Ray insisted on paying for the room. When the front desk clerk raised an eyebrow at the name on her credit card, Jamal noticed it too. Raylan Whitmore. The name hit him like a lightning bolt. "Wait," Jamal said slowly, "as in Whitmore Tech? The Whitmores?" Ray sighed, then looked him square in the eye. "Yeah, that's my family." He nearly dropped the motel key. Raylan Whitmore was the estranged daughter of tech billionaire Gregory Whitmore. Tabloids had been buzzing for months. Rumors of a runaway heiress, family drama, legal disputes. She wasn't just rich, she was next in line to a multi-billion-dollar empire. And here she was, sitting on a motel bed, splitting onion rings with a broke ex-entrepreneur from Atlanta. "I didn't lie to you," she said. "I just didn't want to be treated like a checkbook." He nodded, still processing. "Why me?" "Because you listened," she said. "You talked to me like I was a person, not a headline." They stayed up all night talking about what it meant to start over, about trust, about freedom. When the morning sun crept in through the blinds, Raylan turned to him and asked, "What if we built something together? Your brain, my money, no strings, just vision." It sounded crazy. It also sounded like hope. 1 year later, Whitmore Carter Ventures launched its first co-working campus in Atlanta, focusing on underserved black and minority entrepreneurs. Jamal ran operations. Raylan, despite the media storm, worked quietly behind the scenes. Some said he got lucky. Others said she was slumming it. But neither cared. Because sometimes the richest thing you can find on a dusty road isn't money. It's the chance to dream again. Would you like a version with more romance? The world finds out. The media eventually caught on. At first, it was whispers. Raylan Whitmore spotted in Atlanta with unknown businessman. Then came the photos. One grainy shot of Jamal and Raylan sharing coffee outside a downtown cafe hit the gossip blogs like wildfire. Runaway heiress builds tech empire with mystery man. Reporters flooded the co-working space the next day. Jamal wanted to shut it all down. The privacy, the freedom, it was slipping away. "This ain't what I signed up for," he told Raylan, pacing the office, voice tight. She stood calmly, arms folded. "No, it's exactly what you signed up for. Rebuilding. But the world wasn't going to let us do it quietly forever. But now it's about you. They're not here for the work. They're here for your name, your face." "No," she said softly, walking closer. "They're here because of the work, and because we're doing it right." He looked at her for a long moment. "And what about us?" She hesitated. "What is us?" They danced around it for months. Long nights brainstorming, shoulders brushing, laughter that lingered a little too long. But no moves, no crossed lines, just possibilities. That night, Raylan disappeared from the office without saying goodbye. The next morning, Jamal found a note on his desk. "Meet me where you found me. Midnight, Confused, he drove 5 hours back to that dusty highway in Georgia. Same road, same silence. She was there, hoodie jeans, same duffel slung at her side. But this time she smiled. "You came," she said. "Of course I did," Jamal replied. "You're not just a business partner." She walked over slowly, eyes locked with his. "Then what am I?" He stepped closer. "The best decision I ever made." And there, under a moonlit sky in the middle of nowhere, Jamal kissed the runaway heiress who helped him find his future, just like he helped. Public scrutiny, things changed between Jamal and Raylan, but they never said the words out loud. There was no label, no big announcement, just closeness. A shared apartment in Midtown, quiet dinners on the balcony, soft laughter in the kitchen. But love, when tied to power and money, doesn't stay quiet for long. A Forbes article dropped, "From pickup to power couple, Raylan Whitmore and the man who saved her." Jamal stared at the headline, jaw clenched. "Saved you?" he said bitterly, tossing the magazine onto the table. "Like I'm some charity case or you're some princess I rescued." Raylan flinched. "That's not what I told them. Doesn't matter. That's what they heard. Like I'm just the broke black guy you took a chance on." Her voice rose. "You think I built this company for a story? You think I built it for you?" "No," he snapped. "I think you built it for us. But the world doesn't see us. They just see you, Whitmore, the billionaire runaway. And me, I'm a prop." Silence sat heavy between them. Finally, Raylan walked over, placed her hand on his chest. "You're not a prop, Jamal. You're the reason I stayed. But if this partnership, this relationship makes you feel small, I don't want that." He looked away, jaw tight. "It's not you. It's everything that comes with you." A week passed. They worked, they barely spoke. The office ran like a machine, but the warmth was gone. Then came the board meeting. Raylan sat at the head of the table. Jamal was across from her. Suits and investors lined both sides. One man said, "Raylan, we're concerned about your co-founder's public image. There's baggage." Jamal stood to leave. But Raylan stood too. "If by baggage you mean grit, resilience, and the brain behind this company's actual growth, then you're free to leave. We don't need investors who can't see value when it's sitting in front of them." Silence. Then Jamal sat back down. Later that night, on the roof of their building, she handed him a drink and whispered, "They'll never stop coming for us. But if you're in, really in, I'll fight for this every time." Jamal stared at her, then nodded. "Then we fight. Together." And finally, he said the words neither had dared before. "I love you." Raylan smiled. "Took you long enough. Would you like part 4 to dive into betrayal, a threat to the company, or a personal twist, like a figure from her past returning?"